Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here in Erlengrat. It's the wrong trolley for this one anyway. You look, see where it's fastened on. See? That's the wrong trolley for that header. That header requires a different trolley. It doesn't fit this universal trolley. Some of them do, but this one doesn't. And you can see there, I forgot to drop the header bit down anyway, so it's clipping into the spout off of the combine, which is not really an ideal situation to be in either. Bring you around. Well, if we can get through town without knocking any road signs over for once. Managed to do it there. I'm not normally very good at this bit. We normally end up knocking road signs over. We don't want to be doing that. So we get you down to that field and we start you up. We'll start the harvest. Then we can deal with the sugar beets. It's a long old trip down this road. But fortunately it's quite a slow trip, so you know you can sort of have a cup of coffee on the go while you're driving along. I believe it is sort of frowned upon to do that while you're going along the road, because you tend to do things like that while you're trying to, yeah, don't drink and drive, even if it's coffee. It's probably not a good idea, because you end up sort of doing things like that. So we don't want to be doing that too much. Now, where is the best place to put, because I can't pull into the field with the header unless actually if I go over in the other one over there. What do we got over there? No, there's not enough room to get past. That would be the ideal spot, right in front of the bus shelter. But what, obviously we can't do that because it's a bus shelter. We can't go doing that. But what we can do is we can put it on the verge on this side. So I'll drag it through like that, and then I'll reverse that one up there like that. It's past the lamppost. And we'll park the header trailer there. Now, in any rural community, this would be acceptable. I've never worked in or lived in any kind of rural community where just a patch on the side of the road like that, unless you got someone that has sort of moved in from a town and complains about every aspect of country life. You know the ones I mean. You know the people I mean. The ones that would write a letter of complaint to the Ministry of Transport about this happening right here, because, you know, he's on the road, he's blocking the road, and it shouldn't be allowed. And their cockerel that they have on their farm, we moved to the countryside for peace and quiet. They're also the ones that would do that. And that. We moved to the countryside for the peace and quiet. We didn't expect a cockerel to be crowing at 5 o'clock in the morning. We think it's terrible. And I have actually heard stories where such a thing has happened. There was a thing in the newspaper several years ago now. I don't remember exactly when. But there was this story about a couple that moved out of London to a rural location, and they complained that the farm that they lived next to was too noisy. They didn't like it, and they made life miserable for these farmers. One of the complaints they had was that the farmer was allowing their cockerel to crow at 5 o'clock in the morning, sunrise, and they had moved to the countryside for the peace and quiet, and this was not the peace and quiet that they envisioned, and they demanded that the cockerel be silenced. And in the end it went to court, and the farmer was ordered to find a way for the cockerel to be silenced. And so the farmer ended up, he wasn't going, there's not really a lot you can do to make a cockerel stop crowing at sunrise. So he took the cockerel, and he kept it on his land. It was on his land, and he basically he did it for the pot. In order to do a chicken for the pot, you normally cut the head off. You normally just have a hatchet and you chop their head off. So it's pretty clean. It's pretty quick. It's an acceptable and standard way of doing it. Acceptable. It's the recommended way of doing it, because it's about as quick and painless as you can get. What am I looking for here? Right, I'm going there, and I'm quite happy with that. The only thing I want to change is the weight during unload. I'll leave that on 50% and see how that works out. Right, go like that. We'll lower that one down. So what the farmer did was he took the cockerel in question and he took it to a field, the field that was right up against these people's house, and he called them out and he said, here is the cockerel that is making the noise, and he cut the chicken's head off right in front of them. And apparently they found the whole thing distressing, and they tried to press charges again because it was distressing and it was cruelty to animals, but they found in his favour this time and told them to basically stop wasting people's time. That's what they wanted to happen. And the last I heard, the second part of that story wasn't in the newspaper. I heard this through other means. And the bit that was in the newspaper was the bit where they successfully sued him and got him, the chicken had to be silenced because they wanted silence in the countryside. And the last I heard was that they decided that country life wasn't for them and they moved back to the town. Those sorts of people... How did I start on this? Oh yes, the header over there. Those sorts of people, those are the ones that will complain about the header trolley being put opposite the field when the farmer is trying to get in there to do his harvest. Those sorts of people aren't ones that really fit in very well with the rural community, though, are they? Not if you stop to think about it. They're not really best suited for life as part of a rural community. And I'm sure that there are... Well, I know that there are plenty of really decent people that have moved out of the city, have never lived in the countryside in their life, and know nothing about it, and they're really, really nice people, and they work really hard to learn about, living in the country and managing the land and working with the land. But you always get ones that think it's some kind of retirement home and that all of the animals should be silenced because they want to have a lie-in on a Sunday morning or some such nonsense. And those are the ones that annoy me big time. They really frustrate me, because why would you move to the countryside if you're expecting, like, I don't know. I don't move to the city and demand that everybody stop beeping their car horns because I find it disturbing and I wanted the quiet life in the city. So how do they get to do that when they come to the country? How did the judge find in favour of them in the first place? That's the thing that really bugs me. Like, out of all of that story, I found the whole idea of the farmer killing the chicken in front of the people, because that's what they'd ordered to happen, I found that bit funny. Because, the chicken is going to be killed anyway. The rooster, the cockerel is going to be killed anyway, right? It's end of the line for the cockerel. He is not going to survive any longer, and so rather than just killing it and throwing it away, he's being killed and then eaten, which is, part of farming. We breed animals for meat. So, I mean, yes, the cockerel does generally live longer than most, but a lot of them do still end up in the pot eventually. You just boil, they can be a bit tough and stringy, so you've got to boil them a bit longer. But they are, it's the natural life cycle of the chicken. They do what they need to do, and then they get eaten. And you could argue that that is cruel, and we shouldn't be doing that, and that they should be able to live a natural life. Well, I can absolutely promise you, anybody that doesn't realise, that the natural lifestyle of the chicken, excuse me, the natural life of the chicken involves running away from an awful lot more predators, eating a lot less, generally being a lot skinnier than you see them on a farm, and dying a lot younger. They do tend to be picked off fairly early on. Like, chickens don't have a very long life expectancy in the wild. They don't last very long at all. They are they're a sort of semi-flightless bird, so they can flap off the ground for short distances, but chickens don't tend to last very long. Wild chickens don't. And they do get eaten. There's a lot of things that have chicken on the menu. So a wild chicken is not going to live as long as a lot of chickens do on a farm. And yes, there are plenty of chickens that are not kept very nicely. There are thousands of chickens that aren't kept very nicely, and I absolutely agree. But when it comes to people moving to the city, moving to the country, because, you know, they want the quiet life, and then expecting the animals to be slaughtered because they're making a bit too much noise, that really grates me. And I don't even know why I was thinking about that story. I was thinking about it a few days ago. And I'm still, like, yes, that was the end of the line for the chicken. Alright, the chicken was not going to survive past that. But am I... Oh, yeah. Let's say 3% trans... Okay, well, I just thought I'd better double check. I'm definitely taking this to the right place, because otherwise that's going to be really, really bad. Right, while that one is tipping out there, we've got nothing more to do over here. You have now finished this field. So we will... Actually, you were already started up, so... Yeah, there we go. We've got 10% transported for field 13. I'm going to... trot down here a second into field 12, and I'm going to start spreading fertilizer in here. Got a big long field just here like this, and we've got plenty of fertilizer on board. There we go. I think this field is slightly odd shaped, so we'll have it just stuck out the edge just a fraction like that, and back over to here. Right, no, not you, wrong one. Actually, no, that's not necessarily the wrong one. I can go and just park up next to this combine a second. And we can take off the first load of grain. I think I am going to have to go more than once with this one. Like, I think I may have misjudged this. We look like we got quite a bit in here. And I also had this one set on don't wait to unload. I thought I'd be able to just park underneath him, but there's no way I'm going to be able to do that unless I can catch him out here on this corner before he turns too much. Got him. Ideal. Right, we caught him. If I stay there, I think we should be alright. So you can stay there like that, and then I want to go to this one. There we go. The one at the supermarket. And we'll go and take this one. Oh, no, I don't even want to do that yet either. I want to go... No, I don't want to go to you. There. I have 200,000 litres of sugar beet on board. I want to get another 10,000 litres into that trailer right there. And then I want to get the rest of the sugar beet into the next one. How much I'm going to be able to fit in here, I don't really know. So we will do that. Overshoot by nearly a full carriage length. Not very good at this whole driving trains thing. Stop right there, shall we? Ooh, no, and 47,000, right. So we should be able to take the remainder of the sugar beet and then also the what do you call the other bit? Sunflowers. The sunflowers. We should also better go and take those. And then once we've done, I mean, we might. It's a job to tell. I genuinely don't know at the moment how much we're going to... How much sugar beet we're going to take with us. Like, how much we're going to be left with once we've done everything. Because we're going to take... Obviously, this is going to go with us over to the next store. And we're going to take whatever we can from there and tip it into the supermarket. So they can go and have their slice. If we take, it says 247,000 right now. If we very quickly go and have a look in here, we've got harvesting active. We're on 86% on that one right there. Field 11 is done. Field 12 is the one that we're currently active on. We'll deal with that in a minute. Let's try to stay strictly focused on the sugar beet for a minute. So I'm going to unload the back carriage first, and then I will unload the front carriage. Helper A has completed their task. No, he hasn't. I can see him parked up on the edge of the field. He has completed nothing. Nothing, I tell you. He has completed nothing. So we've gone way past where we should have gone right there. Back up a little bit, and we will unload 47,000 litres of sugar beet. 37,000 litres of sugar beet, I mean. here. So I'll tip that lot out, and then I will back it up so that we're just on the front carriage. There. The middle one, which is the one that's holding 120,000 litres, we will leave that one exactly where it is for a minute. It's the front one that I want to get to. There. One thing that annoys me slightly with the train is that you've got to select each carriage to unload it. And that does bug me. I wish you didn't have to do that. I wish it would just automatically come up to say that. Because when you're loading it, you don't have to select which one. I mean, you do to open the covers, but other than that, you don't have to worry about it. Shall I go and take you? While I'm here, let's go and grab a bit more there. I need to get that fertilizer running, but if I can take this 5,000 litres off, it's a little bit less that we've got to take off another time. We might actually be able to know we're well, I don't know. We're halfway done. Well, we're halfway filled on the trailer. Are we halfway done on the field? I'd say we're getting close to halfway done on this field. We are getting very, very close to halfway done on this field. And, well, I'm over halfway on the trailer now. Alright. Let's leave you there, let you run. And you here. Actually, no, I don't want to go to that one yet. I want to go to here. See, you haven't finished anything. You have finished absolutely nothing. I only need to move you over a tractor's width to be able to get to this side of it. And I go there like that. Actually, that's not even... I wonder if I can get away with a strip up the side of the field. I go here. The strip there. It's actually covering the edge of the field. So if I go over half a tractor's width, it's just meeting it. It's barely covering it, but the farmer might be happy with that. A slight line down through the middle of the field there. That looks terrible, but I mean, that's close. Like, if this was actually a field in real life, you'd look at that and you'd say, yeah, but if I go over it again, I got a double stripe down through the field. Rather leave it. It would actually be better to leave it in the long run, because otherwise you like double fertilizing that little bit, and you don't want to do that. Okay, so you are unloading. This has got that thing where it refuses to unload anything out of the train unless you're sat there staring at it like a lemon. So we will just lemon-fy ourselves right here for a second, get that sugar beet out, and job done. Right, so we've got 120,000 left on board that one. We're going to go over here, and we're going to start doing a few runs backwards and forwards with this trailer and get the rest of this sugar beet out. And then where's the rest of it going to be sold? Like, what is the current price for sugar beet? We have 100 and... Ooh. Price is coming down, admittedly. The price is coming down at the moment, but it's not that bad. Like, it's 135 compared to a good 20 less on each of the others. So we've definitely got the best price available at Felsbrunn. So that's the one that we're going to want to go for. I'm going to go in here because I've got a horrible feeling that our hired help for once is going to be really, really industrious and efficient and try and cover everything. And then this is the one time that we don't actually want them to do that. So we're going to go over to... There we go, look. Now what are you doing? I gotta be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure what part of industrious inefficient that falls under. Mostly that falls under me being really confused. I am just going to finish off that little bit there, and then we will stop. The farmer is quite happy with that. He doesn't want that overlapped. He doesn't want anything extra going on there. He is more than happy with that job, saying that is done. And yes, I know that there could be one or two of you that will say that I shouldn't have done that and I should have actually covered everything, but it seems like that's a lot to be putting a double layer of fertilizer on. That does seem like that is a lot to be putting a double layer of fertilizer on, to the point where I think it would actually be, if you're looking at a real life situation, and because that's what we do with this series, is we are actually trying to do this a little bit closer to a real life situation than we are just playing a game. And that in a real life situation, you wouldn't go back over that and do another line. You wouldn't go over and do it again just for that little bit. You'd leave a half meter without, rather than... because the half meter without means that the other 23.5 meters doesn't get a double dose of fertilizer, and that's what you'd want. It would be better to have half a meter with no fertilizer than 23.5 meters with a double dose, because a double dose is actually quite... well, yeah, it is. A double dose fertilizer is worse than no fertilizer at all, because it basically makes it grow too fast, and then you get weak stalks and it all falls over. And that's called lodging, and you really, really don't want lodging. And you can always tell if you've got like a triangle-shaped field. It's very difficult to sort of find the right balance. And if you look in any field, when you're driving along, you go out for a drive somewhere, if you look in a field, you will see if there's any sort of triangle-shaped field, and that is most of them, they do generally have triangle ends, you will see little patches of lodging at the ends, and that's where it's had double doses of fertilizer. It's always worse to have a double dose than it is to have no fertilizer at all. Because if it's got no fertilizer, it doesn't sort of bulk out like that. You want it to bulk out some, you just don't want it to bulk out all of it. Okay, 8,000 litres in there. Well, I reckon that we might actually get everything in here. I reckon there's a good chance that we could get everything into this one. Let's get this unloaded, and then I keep saying that we're going to do the sugar beet, and we are going to do the sugar beet. It's just that we haven't gotten quite so enthusiastic with the sugar beet as perhaps we should have done. Let's take you into there like that. I'll get most of this combine unloaded. Like that. Let's run that back down to the middle. There, and right, the combine itself can go and take the rest of the grain that we've got. It's got 2,000 litres on board. We got space for another 5,500, which I think he's probably gonna be able to fit in. We should be able to get everything in one load on here. Okay, sugar beet. I'm going to take that with me. Got a little bit of lag going on there because of this doing hinky strange things. So I'm going to bring you back round here like this. Put you to that point. We go here. We click that one so it goes on to standard. And I go like that. Right. Now I won't get a load of lag everywhere. Now I can run my next 31,000 litres of sugar beet up the road to the supermarket, and we can get that tipped in, and then we can come back and we get some more. We are going to have to go backwards and forwards a couple of times, but on the plus side, we're not having to go backwards and forwards all the way to the field where we were working. We're only going over to this bit just here. Unfortunately, we can't take a shortcut through there, which would be faster still. And I should have gone round and roundabout there instead of knocking off all of those signs. I really shouldn't have done that. I was actually thinking that I was going the right way round and roundabout. And then as I started to turn, I thought, oh, nope, nope. I'm on mainland Europe here. I'm not in the UK. I need to drive backwards round and roundabout. Because everybody does things back to front round here. Just go to there like that. Tip that one out. So this should say 20% done. We'll also have a look in the contract and we'll see what the actual contract itself is saying. 87. Is it going to... Oh, yeah, it does. It changes on the fly. As we go through, it's actually changing 88. Wow. Okay, that's going slow. With 22% transported on there. Oh, it is saying 89% on there. It's going a little bit better. Alright. It is looking promising. We should be able to get something for this. And I think what we'll do is as soon as we have done this bit of the job, we will immediately take the sugar beet that is left and the sunflowers that are there also. We'll take that whole lot straight to Felsbrunn, and then the wheat and stuff that we get from these other jobs, we'll worry about that afterwards. So if we just go and have a look right there, and I'll load up another load of sugar beet in here. Helper C has completed their task. That's another fertilizer job done. Wait, didn't we already have those done? Who's helpers? Oh, that's the harvest job. Right, that's the other harvest job. Okay. And there, wheat. Sunflowers in here is a Felsbrunn grain mill. Wheat, 500 at the Felsbrunn grain mill. And just 226 or 256 for the other two. So we got 3 wheat jobs. They are definitely going to be more profitable. There, Helper D has completed. Everyone has completed tasks. I don't even know who I had running. I had Helper someone else, didn't I? Sure, I didn't have a Helper D. Fertilizer had already finished. Oh no, I started another fertilizer job. So the fertilizer job is finished. Helper D is completed. So we had the grain is completed. Sorry, the first wheat job was completed. The fertilizer job is done, and well, that was it. I think it was those two. We had those two running at the time. Okay, so I'm just gonna we'll focus on this. I want to get this sugar beet thing done, and then we get 11 grand from the job itself. And we also get whatever we get for selling the crop. Now, I estimated that we would get 1,500 euros coming from the sunflowers that we'll be able to sell for this. We're also going to get another big chunk of money, a big bite of solid cash coming in. It's going to be absolutely wonderful for some more of it. So it's 34%. And yeah, I should probably let the trailer drop all the way down before I go whizzing off up the road. But quite frankly, at this point, it gets to the point where you kind of want to just get the job done. Like, you get to the point where, you know, if I could spend 100,000 on a slightly bigger trailer, I'd probably go and do it just to hurry this one along. Because this does get a little bit tedious, but at least it's not as bad as if we had been dragging it from a field far, far away. So I get 2 trailer loads out of this, and then we'll have to unload some more from the train. How are we doing with our actual contract in here? 91. It's filling up very, very slowly, isn't it? I don't like how slowly this is filling up. Okay, there is 31,000 right there, and that's going to take us to 93, 94. I mean, if we're getting 3% per load, we're on 91. We need 3 more loads. This one plus 2 more, and we're done. So we only need to unload 30,000 litres, which means that we're going to take 90,000 litres of sugar beet, potentially, up the road. And yeah, I am just going the wrong way round and roundabout now, because I want to hurry up and get this done. And I imagine some of you probably want me to hurry up and get this done as well, so that we can get this job finished. There we go. And back in there like that. Let's go and have a look on here. So is it 3% per load? Unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. A massive thank you to everybody who has earned their way into the Great Book of Names. To find out some more details about all the names coming past, please head into the description and click on the link to the Discord. It's a link to another video. The link is on the other video. Please also consider checking out the links there for Nitrado, who provide gaming servers for games like Farming Simulator, Minecraft, Ark, and several others. And there's also Fanatical, who will help support your gaming habit by providing you with cheap games and also giving me a small commission on anything that you buy using my link. If you've enjoyed this particular video, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.